Hazbin Hotel is a project that I've had a long history with throughout most of my life as an artist. I've been following the project since I was in middle school, and when the pilot, since before the pilot came out. I've been following it for a very long time, so it would come to a lot of people's surprise when I tell them that I just got into Homestuck last year. And dear God, was it a mistake. I love Homestuck to death. My current boyfriend got me into it. I love him to death. He read it to me one night, and we've been reading it. We've put it on pause, but I am obsessed with Homestuck to the point where I have already cosplayed several of the characters already. One of my most known things about me is that I was on my college's campus multiple times last year in Karkat cosplay. I am obsessed with Homestuck. So when I realized that I could combine these two things that I really, really, really like, I was just like, you know what? I should really do that. So here's where we are. We're here with 4 separate designs that I've made of the beta kids. They're all adults because I decided they will die as adults, because I'm not putting a bunch of 13-year-olds in hell, and also because Beyond Canon exists, and I want them to all live to adulthood and die in adulthood. So I have actually been working on this for about a year. I started working on this when Hazbin premiered last year, very closely to it. After watching the first couple of episodes, I was just like, oh no, I really want to draw Dave as a sinner, so I did. And then me and my boyfriend kind of flipped back and forth with designs for him, and eventually I landed on this one, which I don't like the original color palette that I came up with, which is why it changes. So my boyfriend actually took the file. I sent him the file, and he fixed the color palette for me. He recolored him for me, decided to punch a hole in him, because that makes more sense, considering the fact that that's associated with his death. So Dave was actually murdered in a fight. I decided I'm not pulling deaths directly from the comic necessarily. I'm more taking these characters, their personality, and just the situation that they were in didn't really happen, and they were just friends. These guys are all just from the early 2000s. They're all young adults, and they just all kind of died in separate ways that are unrelated to each other. So Dave died in a fight, stabbed through the torso. That is why he has a hole in his body. But yeah, here's Dave, and here's his stand. Yeah. So you might be wondering why he has a stand. So I run an Etsy shop. I run an Etsy shop with my best friend and my boyfriend. So it is Castle Keys Collective. We sell fan art mostly, but we are also going to be selling some original stuff, and these standees will be available on there. So if you like one of these designs enough that you want to have one of these guys in your home, they will be available on the Etsy for sale. So next up is Rose. This is not the order that I drew them in the slightest, but I decided it would be better to show them this way just because of one of the design aspects on Jade, which would spoil some of the designs that I'm doing. So for Rose, I decided I'm definitely pulling cats, I'm definitely pulling octopus, tentacles, dark magic, all kinds of stuff here. So she's a lot. I decided to pull the hood from Beyond Canon, and I wanted to give her sharp spikes almost on her shoulders to kind of be like an armor in a sense, but also just to kind of show thorns. And I thought that it would be fun to kind of have her symbol hold her eye almost in a frame, to frame her eye, because she is seeing things. She is able to see these things as they are happening. I don't know. I have a really hard time explaining my design choices, but I hope that you guys understand what I'm saying. I also wanted to give her a little guy in her horns. So there's a little sun guy up there, and he's vaguely inspired by the collector from the Owl House. Also, she has little flame points on her ears, and I thought that was cute. But yeah, here is Rose, and here is her stand. She will also be available. And we will move on to the next one. So next is June. So I went with June mostly because of my own personal headcanons, but also just because I just feel like this is the correct move on my part. So I decided to make her a Warperdinger. So she is a Warperdinger mostly because of the rabbit part, but also because I wanted her to be able to fly. And I figured, oh, Warperdinger. Those things are cool. So I made her a Warperdinger with a small bit of a Jester Harley Quinn aesthetic to kind of lean into that, because that's one of the things that's an important design aspect for Hazbin Hotel characters. Is part of their design has to do with something they were associated with in life or something they disliked about themselves. And one of the things that I wanted to kind of highlight was that she has like unconventional teeth. She has buck teeth, and as someone who has screwed up teeth, I understand the uncomfortableness that comes with just feeling weird because you have weird teeth. So I decided to go with that. Yeah, so some characters that have these aspects is like Angel Dust is one of the characters that is like the biggest example of this, I think. He's a spider because of his family's web of crime, but also he also has large spider feet because he didn't like his feet in life. So yeah, that's why I decided to make her a Warperdinger. I also pulled in the Henmer because I thought that would be fun. She's also got giant jingle bells like everywhere, so she's a very loud individual. So that's the other thing. I made it impossible for her to prank people because she genuinely could not with the jingling that she does. I did that on purpose. Suffer. So here's June in all her glory, and here's her stand. And we will be moving on to the next one, last but not least, my favorite girl in the world, Jade Harley. So Jade was very easy for me to do. The immediate inspirations were the Hellhounds, any of the Canine Sinners, and Beelzebub as well was a really big inspiration for her, especially with the tail. And I also just really like Jade, so I decided big poofy hair, glitter, she's gotta have decorations in her stuff, and she's also gonna have all of the planets that are related to her friends circling her tail and orbiting it. So those, if she was an actual character in Hazbin Hotel, my ideal design for her would have those planets constantly orbiting her tail. I think that's a very fun idea. Pain in the ass to animate. I am an animation student. I totally understand it's pain in the ass to animate, but it'd be so cool. It'd be so cool. I also decided that she's an Overlord. So, her third eye is the one that makes that very clear because Overlords have red sclera. So she is a weapon stealer. She actually does own one of the souls of one of her friends, for several purposes, outside of why like Alistair would own someone's soul or like Vox, but she has a good relationship with them, I promise. It's a good relationship. But she does own one of their souls, so that's why her eye is red. And her two other eyes actually aren't green, that's just her glasses. I decided to kind of lean into like a little scientist-y thing with her kind of being like associated with that, but also I was also inspired by Pinkie Pie almost with the like shape of her outfit. But yeah, here is Jade, and here's her stand. Her stand is also my favorite. I love her. She is my favorite of this set with her space theme. I love her. I love her so much. And here is the full set together. So don't forget, go to Castle Keys Collective on Etsy. The link will be in the description for the YouTube version of this video. And yeah, these guys will be available there, and as well as a bunch of other stuff. I will eventually draw these guys more. Let me know if you would like to see the Alpha Kids or the Trolls next. I have big plans for them. Or any other suggestions for franchises that I should turn into Hazbin Hotel, because I really like making Hazbin designs. Hazbin is one of my biggest design inspirations, which I know a lot of people are probably groaning and saying that it's like the worst thing possible, but I adore Hazbin and its design prospects, like genuinely, like from beginning Hazbin. So I love making these designs. I would love to make more. I have plans to do a bunch of these videos, just to kind of have something to do for the next couple of months. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Please think about maybe following me on all of my socials. Those will all be in the description. But yeah, also consider maybe commissioning me. Yay! I also have a Ko-fi as well that you can donate to if you would like. No pressure, no obligation. But yeah, thank you so much. And again, please consider buying from Castle Keys Collective. Thanks again.